From Denver is the bill's sponsor, Republican State Senator Kent Lambert, and in Los Angeles is blogger and radio talk show host Solis Marich, a consultant for Democratic campaigns. Senator, to you first, why does the state of Colorado need this law in your view?
Well, you know, I almost had to laugh. For the first time, I think I agree with Carol Mosley Braun from your last segment, who said we need to follow the rule of law, and it's all about residency. The same rules ought to apply to illegal immigrants that are in the United States. And in Colorado, we just need to enforce the law. That's what the people have said here for the last 10 years.
Mario, why not? Why should not police have the right, they wouldn't be required to, but have the right to take these steps?
Well, first of all, it's been shown to be completely ineffective in Arizona. And let's talk about what this law really includes. What this law includes is very simple language that allows police officers to arrest people without a warrant if they suspect that at some point that person was suspected of committing a crime. Now think about that for a second. They're saying you could arrest somebody if you suspect that somehow in the past they were suspected. There's a very, very low threshold. It's clearly going to be found to be unconstitutional. And instead of doing what voters sent the GOP to the State House to do, that is to create jobs, the GOP is getting ready to create pink slips for workers in Colorado, because if this comes anything close to costing Colorado what it cost Arizona, you're talking about $150 million in lost revenue to the state. That is an amazing amount of money at a time when the economy needs legislators to pump up the economy and not to tear it down.
Senator, let me give you a chance to respond. I want you to respond to Mario's point about the legality of it and his view that it gives police way too much power, and also address, because even some of your Republican friends in the state have said, I actually like your legislation, Senator Lambert, but why can't we do this in 6 months or 9 months? Because what the voters want from us right now out of the box is jobs, jobs, jobs.
Well, yes, I think Mario's arguments are pretty ludicrous. In 235 years in the United States, no federal court has ever overruled the sovereign power of a state to enforce criminal law. That's what we're talking about doing right here. We also have estimates that in Colorado, there's about $1.5 billion of state services going to either indirectly or directly to illegal immigrants. And, so the economics argument doesn't make any sense either. The problem is this is about jobs. We're seeing unemployment of American citizens skyrocketing. And statistics now, we just saw a new study that showed, immigrant populations are sometimes coming in. They're younger. They're quite often taking those American jobs.
You know, what's interesting about this is that there are 150 million to 200 million reasons a year not to pass this law. The people, the workers, the tourist industry in Arizona really now has taken a look at the devastation that this law has created in Arizona. And once again, obviously, the representative hasn't been following the story of the law in Arizona, because then he would know that major portions of the law have been found to be unconstitutional. Now, those are being appealed, but right now there are injunctions against major parts of the law. So therefore, he is incorrect when he says that the Supreme Court has never found, or a court has never found, that these laws to be unconstitutional. Now, the people of Colorado gave them the majority to create jobs. What he's doing is he's creating pink slips. That's what he's doing.
Let me ask you, Senator, address any point Mario just made if you want the response. But I also want you to address the Colorado Association of Chiefs of Police statement that says any legislative mandate, these are the chiefs of police in your state, any legislative mandate that shifts the primary duty to enforce immigration law to Colorado police officers, such as occurred recently in Arizona, would be a mistake. Why do the police chiefs oppose this?
Well, I'm not sure that they do oppose it, because it is not a mandate from the state. It allows police officers to do their job. But, this has not been declared unconstitutional by the federal courts. They have put a temporary injunction against the Arizona law that's still under review, and no responsible court has even decided that it's unconstitutional. Like I said, they're making an argument against it, but the argument goes something like this. because the United States government, the current administration, has decided they don't want to enforce the law, then sovereign states have to live up to that low threshold of not enforcing the law. That is not the rule of law.
Senator, do you worry at all about the long-term prospects for the Republican Party, the political implications of this? I understand you stand by your law on principle. You believe it's the right thing to do. But your state now has a 20.3% of Colorado's population is Latino. You know the demographic growth, not just in your state, but across the United States. Do you have any concerns? It's essentially the Karl Rove question on immigration, that you will do generational damage to the Republican Party by pushing these proposals.
Well, again, I think that's really naive. We've seen the polling in Arizona, where Arizona 1070 was passed. It was passed on a wide bipartisan basis. The people, the Republicans, Democrats, Independents, and Hispanic, more than 50% of them all support Arizona Bill 1070. Also, Jan Brewer, the governor, won by a landslide after signing that legislation. So the people of the United States want this law. Certainly, I think the man in the street in Colorado wants to see, first of all, enforcement of our borders. Second, we want to enforce the current laws that we have on the books. Right now, the federal government's not doing that, and it's time for the states, as many states are doing right now, take on the responsibility that they have for enforcing the law.
Senator Kent Lambert,
John, can I say something?
Quickly, Mario, go ahead.
This is a point where I'm really torn, because I have to tell you, as somebody who loves the state of Colorado because it's been so good to me, I know this law will create devastation to the state. But as a partisan Democrat, I say, bring it to us, because you will see that there is generational damage being done to the Republican Party. So as a partisan, I hope they bring it on. As somebody who loves the state, who loves the tourism industry in that state, I have to hope that they don't go forward with this.
Well, we'll watch this proposal as it makes its way through the legislature.
Well,
Senator Lambert, appreciate your time. Sorry we're out of time tonight, sir, but we'll bring you back. We'll watch this as it goes through the debate there. Senator Lambert, Mario, appreciate your time tonight. It's an important issue. We'll keep track of it. When we come back,